Wow. Nice. Ah, their reasonable enjoyment comes first and foremost. Nobody else's reasonable enjoyment matters. Got to hear them as early as 5, 7, 8 morning. Doesn't matter. It's their reasonable enjoyment that seems to matter first and foremost all the time. Got to hear them at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, maybe even later. Doesn't matter. Their reasonable enjoyment comes first. Apparently, you're entitled to more reasonable enjoyment if you don't work a job. Even outside of all the free time you have extra, like don't have a job, don't have to work, got all that time to make noise. But it's like, even so, you just have more, you're entitled to more, I guess. Must be they felt so, oh, you don't even have a job, you poor guy. Well, you're allowed to make as much noise as you want. In fact, you can make it whenever you want. Meanwhile, people that do actually have to work for a living, let alone they gotta buy to hold on to their fucking job because, I, and it gets harder as the weeks progress to keep doing that job and holding on to it and doing it efficiently. So I think it's nice. Must be some of that 1984 double think or something there, where it's like, yeah, no, you know what's reasonable and right, but you're being told that no, they don't work, they don't do anything besides make noise, so they have a right to do that. Like, I was told I don't have a right to have a reasonable sense of security for my belongings in the cellar. Took the lock off. They put a lock on. I don't have a key. Well, that's nice. Let alone, I couldn't have reasonable security of my belongings. now I can't have reasonable access to my belongings. That's all. Might as well do. Poor guy, you not even having a job and nothing better to do but stop and make noise. Like how it makes all the sense in the world that somebody who has to listen to you on a daily basis who doesn't work has to make sure their rent is paid in full on time every month, even though like you're fucking sabotaging jobs on them, driving them asleep. Fair, it's reasonable. There we go. Keep your noise. so far. Have a look at the other. You're back to reasonably enjoying yourself again. So reasonably, I can feel it in my arms and the table down here. It's good. Like when you're reasonably enjoying yourself so much, I can feel it in my arms on the table, in the back of my chair. Based on how much I feel it, I figure, well, that's just how reasonable it is, right? Same thing with when you stomp from one end of the house to the other. I just figure the more I can hear it and the longer I hear it, the more reasonable it must be. Gotta be. Must be. What else could it be? I mean, like you would figure if you didn't have a job, surely you could get done stomping and making all kinds of noise by 9 o'clock at night. Not this fella. Or anything. We probably got at least 3 or 4, if not 5 more hours of this. Maybe more. You never know. Never know. On one hand, you can count that it's going to be a noisy fucking day every day. But also, on the other hand, you can't really plan your day around it because it don't always start at the same time. And, yeah. You can show it's going to be in there somewhere every day. And night. You can't forget night. Because like in Cornwall police mine, when you tell them it's all day and it's all night, they're like, well, you should call us. Well, I have called you and then you gaslight me, but even otherwise, it's like, well, if it's all day, they can make all the noise they want. Really? Because I mean, they start pretty fucking early, and it just goes on, and it's like this all day, like this at night too. So it's like, I guess what's unreasonable is if the person isn't feeling 100%, or like 'cause some days you don't feel 100%, you feel 75 or 60. Not bad. They still make 100% of the noise every day. But yeah, some days you don't feel quite yourself or just under, and it's like this kind of helps increase that. Anyways, my point being is, even if you heard this some days and you're okay with it, it's like surely there'd be other days you're quite okay with it. You have to hear it every day. Sick or you're dying or something. Well, that's your fault. You're a piece of shit for being in that condition, and you still have to listen to it. Trying to sleep for your job so you can get up and work. Fuck you. You should have picked a job where you don't have to sleep, or I don't know. I don't know the solution to that one. I honestly don't know the solution to that one. I guess start doing meth or coke. I don't know, but don't expect to sleep adequately. Yes, I don't know. Expecting reasonable peace and quiet, like not having to hear this on a daily basis or all throughout every day and night. That's unreasonable somehow. Not sure how, but But it's weird, I think, that somebody who doesn't work gets to have more enjoyment, like rights to their reasonable enjoyment than a person who works. Like as myself, I would definitely think like I would want that peace and quiet when I get home, especially when it's at night. Like, oh, and do you think for your day off you can have a day of peace and quiet or enjoy yourself? No, not at all. Like don't even look forward to that. If you want to look forward to that, you have to go somewhere else. You do not get to stay home and have peace and quiet on your day off, let alone a quiet night because you don't listen to them every night. That's weird. I'm not understanding what I'm obligated to pay rent in full on time every month for. If I can't have that, since I am supposed to have a right to reasonable employment. Just weird. Tell you, I don't enjoy hearing stomps. It's being woken up to them, not allowed to go to sleep until they stop, and never really know when they that stops. Eventually, it goes quiet at some point at night, 1 or 2. And even when it does go quiet, sometimes at night, 1 or 2, about an hour later, they're stomping again. So just because it became 1 or 2 in the morning, and you don't hear no more stomping, that doesn't mean you're not going to hear any more again or be woken up 20, 35, 40 minutes later. It doesn't. And even then, it's not like, you just get woken up that once because sometimes, later, an hour later, whatever. Like, it just doesn't matter. Funny, I think. So far that I'm understanding, like, he's a prince. He's a prince. Like, I don't think he's a king, but is he a prince of Cornwall or Ontario or something? Or because I don't understand, like, really, honestly, I don't. Like, I'm a human being, but it's like, apparently I'm working for an employer who pays me because, well, he runs a business and he needs people so he can make a profit. Like, my profit is a marginal wage. His profit, like, I'm benefiting him more than wage he gives back to me is benefiting me. Like, I mean, I'm not going to have enough to start a business. So it's like, here I'm just paying money. So this way I can say I have a place to stay and I keep some of my stuff, even though I can't even have access to my stuff in the basement now because the door's locked. So, interesting lock too. There's no doorknob on the door now, even though it kind of sticks. There's just a lock where the doorknob was, and so I imagine if I ever get a key, the triple B to put the key in, and I don't know how to fucking open the door without a doorknob that kind of already sticks, and it's just a locking person where the doorknob was. But, like, so yeah, I'm paying money, like, no matter if it's 700, 200, 2,000, regardless of the amount, I'm supposed to have these rights, and it's like I'm not even allowed those because it's not about the tenant having rights. It's about that's the Prince of Cornwall here, the King of Ontario, whatever he is. He gets to have all he wants. He doesn't even have to work. Just make all the noise they want. So it's like that. I'm understanding. I'm not even saw as a human being, or I have the rights of a human being. Really, I don't think. I mean, you know, when you consider like the wage I work for, oh, I guess you can call it an agreed upon wage, but not really because had I not agreed, well, it just wouldn't be negotiated. Someone else, right? So it's like I'll take what I'm given, but it's like, yeah, even when I take my earnings from that wage and pay for something that's supposed to be supposed to be under my tenement, right? Like it's supposed to be my tenement and reasonable enjoyment of a tenement, and it's like I don't have a right to that. I have a right to pay rent fully on time every month, but I don't have a right to access to my stuff or reasonable security of my stuff. Do I have reasonable enjoyment of a tenement? That's weird. But I do have the right to pay them and make sure it's on time and full every month. I mean, I've complained about this for over a year. It just keeps going. Towards the end, that's where she wants, like in the past month or two, that's where she wanted to bring up that. oh, I locked this other door and kept everyone out. And it's like, no, I expecting you over 10 years ago. Walks that on, there was never a problem with it. So recently, when I started complaining about how I don't have reasonable enjoyment of a tenement, but the person above me who don't work, they have all the rights in the world to make as much noise as they want anytime they want. Weird thing. This kind of stuff, though, that kind of makes me sympathize with Frank Grimes on The Simpsons. Honestly, it is. It's like Scott's trying to do everything right, try to do his best, try to. But it don't matter. Everybody else has more rights than him. I don't expect to have more rights than anybody, but I would expect to have equal rights at least. I don't seem to find myself having much reasonable. When I got here, you stop across the floor, just whenever, day or night, and on meridian or post meridian, it just don't matter, does it? I'm told by the Cornwall police it does matter, but yet when you go to put that theory to practice, it doesn't matter. And are you sure it's not normal people living noises? Oh well, we're really busy, so we probably won't even be able to make it out tonight. Oh, he's trying to you? Well, just try to stay safe. Lock your doors. Oh yeah, he said he's gonna kick your door and cave your head in, but just lock your door. Stay safe. Calgary, Toronto, I don't know. Every day too, and I'm sure some of those too, right? Like the first one, like, hey, I think this guy's gonna try and kill me. Well, he said he's gonna try and kill me. Well, just because he said it doesn't really mean like try to stay away from him. He should be fine. If gives you any more trouble, let us know. Like shit like that, and it's like you wonder why there's problems in the world, Canada, right? Like as citizens of Canada, supposed to have certain inalienable rights. And it's like for some reason it seems the person that doesn't work and is disturbing all the time, they have more inalienable rights than the average working citizen. See? Thought I'd do myself a favor tonight anyway. Try and save some footage there, or battery. I got a pretty full battery. But I was like, you can get an idea of what it's like. Hour the hour. But keep the audience whenever they want to make noise. I just think it's awesome though the contrast because somebody who's actually well, they've already made me lose like two different jobs. Let's say three, but no, I'll say two. There, the lawyer wanted to say about the other one. But other than that, the contrast becomes like work a job, earn a little bit, not be in debt or owe anybody money. And it's like, but we also gotta fucking deal with this. Meanwhile, they don't have to work. Get their money given to them by people who do work, and the government takes money. And yeah, right. As long as ACE gets their money on time from them, they're the good people. Make life as hard for anybody as they want, and it's like it's that person's problem. So even if I wanted to call it an early night, I'm allowed to. But it's just like when I did work the 12-hour shifts and it was day shift though. Like it didn't matter. Like I mean, I get off at 7 o'clock, I go home, I have to be back to work for 7. Chances are I want to get out well before I have to go to work. You know, like I want to do a shower, I want anything I would have to do. And it's like no, because it don't matter because they're gonna keep making this noise in the morning, and it's like, well, you want to get up for about 4 in the morning. No, well, you can, but they'll probably still be stomping or making noise within the hour after you get up if they did stuff. They don't seem to taper off on the stop until about 1 or 2, so 3 hours before work. Real fun stuff it was. It was. First chances are, if the lights were off, and I didn't have to sit around. That was just a little one in comparison to some of the other ones. Funny thing though about getting 2, 3 hours, sometimes you get more. I don't know, but usually it's broken anyway. You know what's weird about that? Staying up and getting a little bit of sleep, so broken, still seems better than trying to go to sleep. Like you're like, oh, it's quiet. I'll try to go to bed for a reasonable time. You just get woken up over and over and over and over. And I don't know why, but for some reason that feels even worse because each time you're woken up after you've gone to sleep, like you just start dozing off. Eventually, you get so tired you are falling asleep within the first 5 minutes. I'll be woken up 10 minutes later. The point being is that you just feel worse each time you get woken up. Next day, you're just tired for the whole day. You feel out of it. Weird. A year ago, I didn't use to change. Have to like that. Don't drink coffee. You don't even really get you high when you're really tired. or I used to like work or so, you know. Anyway, go on after and tired to bed for the night, and it's like, but don't work the same when you always feel like kind of tired and run down and. Not a D, eh? Not a D. Like we heard you coming because you had to slam your feet down there when you got up, I guess, or something. And then you got to come in here and there was a loud bang, eh? That's good. That's nice. There's some more stomping. That's good. Probably like 10:02. Yeah, 10:02. Minutes and it's like, yo. Like often, like, I don't know how it sounds like and what volume it's played at by anyone that is actually doing these, but it's like, it's fairly loud here, I'll tell you that. Like even for me speaking, I have to speak fairly clearly and raise my voice a little for the microphone to pick it up. And it's like I know some of their stomping because I listen to it myself, and it's like some of their stomping is louder than my voice. Of course, I mean, but yeah, it's weird. Anyways, a lot of whether it's computer or smartphone, a lot of them they offer the option to where it's like you can watch something on those pictures. Yeah, it's like even if you can't, just put this on, turn it up, and try and watch TV show. And it's like whenever the noise really starts gets going, and see if you kept track of everything you were watching or you were reading or you were just trying to enjoy reasonably without stopping and banging. Like you'll find it's hard because I know there's like going on 2,300 videos, right? And that's the thing. Like there's a lot of them where I'm sitting here and something just something going overhead and it don't seem like it's impacting me. And it's like, well, I would have you think twice because it's like most of the stuff you either had to watch it again. Like, what? How? Yeah, God forbid playing a game or something. Well, usually it's just dying over and over because you have that going on overhead. You just distract yourself from having. I don't know if you can make the difference. There is a difference. Personally, I would have I would find it much more peaceful to have like a mosquito buzzing around my ear as jumps back and forth, and I would find that way more peaceful than I ever would this. I don't know. I've had that on certain summer days. So that just wants to stay around your head. So that's fine. Until that mosquito dies or goes away, and it's like still not as constant or as enduring as this. I don't know, like whether you're hearing ongoing sound back and forth for like long periods of time, pretty annoying too. Or you're just hearing a loud thud or a stomp or a bang every so often there. Maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it was 7 minutes. It's like it still really kind of infringes on that reasonable enjoyment. Oh.